My dad was very much, I don't know, he was a great American patriot. He really loved this country. And, he grew up as an immigrant, which is why he was so involved with wanting to help other families.
Hi there, and welcome into a brand new week on Celebrity Salute, dedicated to the men and women who serve our country in active duty, our veterans and their families. We're here for you. God bless you. We love you. On each episode, we look for people and stories with some connection to these heroes. I'm Randy Miller. Marlo Thomas is an American actress, producer, author, and social activist. She's best known for starring as Anne Marie in a sitcom series, That Girl, from 1966 to 1971. She's received 3 Primetime Emmy Awards, a Daytime Emmy Award, a Golden Globe Award, and a Peabody Award for her work in television, and was inducted into the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame. She continues to carry on the great work started by her father, Danny Thomas, at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. We're honored to have Marlo Thomas back with us right here on Celebrity Salute. Marlo, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited to be back talking to you. This is my favorite time of year. It's a big time for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. This is our Thanks and Giving campaign, where we really try to make a lot of money to take care of all these children and to take care of all the scientists and the researchers that are at St. Jude. I don't know if you know this, but it costs us $7 million a day to run St. Jude.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
$7 million. Yeah, because, we don't have any paying customers.
Right.
We're not for profit, and we're not for profit. So we have to get about 89% of our money from the donors. So what you're doing for me today, Randy, by letting me talk to your listeners and giving me this access to make them aware that we need you. We can't make $7 million a day all by ourselves. And it's important because my dad made a promise the first day he opened the hospital in 1962 that no family would ever pay St. Jude for anything, not for treatment or travel or housing or food.
That's amazing.
That's a lot. That's a big promise.
It's amazing. Yeah, it really is. And there's no other place like that in the world.
No.
If you go to stjude.org, that's where you can make your donation. And you need to do that today because so many kids. Give us some numbers, Marlo, if you can, of how many kids,
yes.
Every day, every week.
We see 9,000 children a year, and we speak to doctors of children that don't come for about 3,400 a year. But we're every child, any one child that's saved at St. Jude, that really impacts 1,000 children worldwide.
Wow.
And also what's very important about St. Jude is our science and our research. We are recruiting the researchers from all over the world that are the best at blood disease, at brain tumors, at soft tissue tumors, at bone tumors. We are always retinoblastoma, which is eye, coming from everywhere to find. We have them. They're at our hospital. They come from Portugal. They come from Russia. They come from China. They come from everywhere. And it's like going to Babylon, going to the laboratories. They're talking a million languages. But what they're doing, they come to St. Jude to do their best work and to create trials and treatments to take over to the hospital to try on the children. We are a research center. Our research center is as strong as our hospital.
Wow.
That is the secret sauce of St. Jude. That's why we save children. That's why we save them. Most of the children that come to us come with death sentences from other hospitals.
Yeah.
And we take them and we build a program around that one child, a custom program for that one child, and that will affect thousands of children around the world. And speaking of around the world, we collaborate, and I'm sure a lot of your military listeners will be interested in this. We collaborate with 450 medical institutions in 90 countries.
Oh,
so we're
really?
we're impacting children in 90 countries. That's exactly what my father wanted to happen.
That's incredible.
His second promise. His second promise was that we would send our information, our knowledge, our discoveries around the world to the medical community and scientific community. And I'll tell you, it's a thrill, Randy, to do it. It's a thrill to see. We have children at St. Jude who came from Ukraine.
Wow.
In fact, St. Jude was able to take out cancer patients both in Gaza and in Ukraine. We took out the cancer patients so they could continue their treatment. And we placed them in Poland and Switzerland and Italy, whoever would take them. And we took 8 families to St. Jude that needed especially what we do. I talk nonstop, Randy. I know I have a limited time.
Listen,
so I'm going to take advantage of every second you let me have.
I could listen to that girl voice for the rest of my life. I mean, that is a fantastic voice. And Marlo, I just got to say, you didn't have to take over the family business here, and I just want to thank you so much for just your devotion to this incredible thing that your dad started. And I was talking to my wife, you talk about your grandma had 10 babies. And back in those days, it's kind of coming full circle now to what we're finding out about medicine and especially homeopathic medicine, because that's all there was back then, right?
That's right. Yeah. Well, if you couldn't afford a doctor,
exactly.
They couldn't afford a doctor. Yeah, if you got sick, you could die, and that's the end of that. If you had 10 babies, God bless you. Hope you have them all, because it's a very scary thing. Today, people want to have their babies in a hospital to be sure that if anything goes wrong, you've got the experts there to help you. I just want to remind your listeners that they can go to a lot of stores that are Thanksgiving partners, like K Jewelers and Home Goods and Williams-Sonoma and Pottery Barn and all the Dollar General. I love Dollar General. That's the most fun store.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll ask you to add a little something for the children of St. Jude. So do it, add $1, add $20, add 50 cents, whatever you've got. Because, this time of year, we're all out shopping and buying our presents and goodies and food and everything for our family and friends. But at St. Jude, there are families just struggling for their child's life. They're not even thinking about Christmas and Hanukkah.
Yeah.
They're worrying about saving their child's life. And, parents come to St. Jude terrified that they're going to lose their kid and terrified that they're going to have to mortgage their house, sell their car. But when they come to St. Jude, we take care of all of it. They don't have to mortgage their house. They don't have to sell their car.
No bill ever.
And that's no bill ever.
Wow.
And people don't believe it. I was on The View one year, and Whoopi Goldberg said to me, "Now, wait a minute. They don't pay for anything?" I said, "That's right. Nothing." And I always love it when there's a parent with me, like on the Today Show or something, and then they say it. And, because when I say it, people think, "Oh, she's exaggerating." But when they say it, it's obvious that, but I swear to God, they pay for nothing.
Marlo,
nothing.
Thank you so much for the work that you and St. Jude are doing. If you go to stjude.org, that is just one way to donate. But, every time that you buy a gift this year, think of the gift that somebody's not getting at St. Jude, especially around this time of year. It's just incredible. Marlo, thank you so much. Great to talk to you again.
Thanks, Randy. Happy holidays to you.
You too. You've been listening to Celebrity Salute. Celebrity Salute is produced by Brainstorm Media and distributed by National Defense Network, with host Randy Miller and executive produced by Nate Herron. Be sure to visit us at nationaldefensenetwork.com. This podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also say, "Alexa, play the National Defense Network podcast."